Hi there, it's Carol with Carolbcrafts. Today we'll be making this adorable Happy Mother's Day card. This is project number 3 in my Tea Together Club Kit. Check out my website www.carolbcrafts.com to see what current club kit I'm offering. Now if you don't need a Happy Mother's Day card, you can make this card any occasion that you want, and if you don't have the club kit, don't worry, I will give the supplies and dimensions as we go along so that you can make this adorable card with us. Now you'll be needing the Tea Together stamp set, and that's the one that has these adorable little teapot and teacup. You'll also need some layering ovals dies to do the sentiment here. For your inks, you'll need Flirty Flamingo, Tuxedo Black. For your blends, you'll need light and dark, Flirty Flamingo, light Mossy Meadow, and light Petal Pink. For cardstock and paper, you'll need a thick Whisper White card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. You'll need some regular Whisper White, 3 inches by 2 inches, and 4 3/4 by 3.5. You'll need some Petal Pink, 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. You'll need some Flirty Flamingo, 2.5 by 1.5, 5 by 3 3/4, and then 5 1/4 by 4. And then for your DSP, you'll need this beautiful pink roses, and that will be 4 3/4 by 3.5, 4 3/4 by 3.5. The embellishments that you'll need will be the teapot and the frame for the teapot, 3 of the Petal Pink Artisan Pearls, and that's the Petal Pink ones are the ones that are not the darkest, but the next to the darkest. So these right here, you need 3 of those, and then you're going to need 9 inches of the 1/8 inch Whisper White sheer ribbon. For your adhesives, you're going to need your snail and your glue and mini glue dots and mini dimensionals. And for your tools, you'll want your piercing tool, your Stamparatus or another stamp positioner, and your Big Shot. So I like to get started with our stamping. So you'll need your Whisper White, 4 3/4 by 3.5, your 3 by 2 Whisper White, and then your little teapot with the framelit. So we'll get our Stamparatus. So we'll start by stamping our little teapot, and I'm going to show you how that's done. You'll need your Memento Tuxedo Black ink. What we'll do is we're just going to kind of put this kind of in the center. You'll need scratch paper below. I'm using the mini grid paper. It's really good for this. Now we'll get the stamp for the teapot, and we're just going to kind of just set it there. It doesn't have to be exact, just because right now we're just going to make an image. We're not really going to worry about where we're stamping. So we'll put our Tuxedo Black ink on our teapot stamp and stamp an image. This is going to be to help us stamp on the teapot die cut. You'll take your frame, you'll line up where your stamped image is and where it looks like it's even on all, there's even spacing all around the teapot. Then you're going to put that in place. I like to put just a little bit of snail to hold my image, my die cut in place, and keep it from moving around. Make sure that gets in there nice and tight. Now we're going to ink up our teapot again. And now we're going to stamp on our die cut. Now you can use this technique to do multiple die cuts if you're doing a swap or a party or whatever. You could continue to do this. Just remove this die cut and replace it with another die cut. The next thing we want to do is the flower that's in the pot. this little flower right here. So I'm going to turn my paper over to the other side, and I'm going to stamp the little flower with the leaves going kind of up, and I'll use my Memento Black for that. And now I'll use my frame to kind of help me to know where I want that flower to be. And it looks like that's a good spot right there. So now I'm going to put my die back in there, just like this, and ink up my stamp. And now I have my flower. Now I'm going to take my 3x2 Whisper White and find my Happy Mother's Day stamp. I'm just going to place that in the center because I'm going to die cut that. So I just need to make it sure that it's in the center. I'm going to stamp that with my Flirty Flamingo. Okay, I have my Happy Mother's Day. Clean off that stamp. Now I'm going to get my 4 3/4 by 3.5, and I'm going to get my little flower again. This time, let's see, I want the leaves kind of going out to the up, and I'll put this in the corner. Doesn't have to be real perfect, just in the corner there. I'll stamp it with Memento Tuxedo Black. Now if you wanted to put a different sentiment inside or add a sentiment here, this would be the time to do it. I'm just going to leave it blank for now. Okay, we are done with our stamping. So we have a little bit of die cutting to do. We have the smallest scalloped oval and the smallest oval. And we're going to line that up so that it looks where we want it to look kind of even all around. Tape that down to hold it in place. And then I'm going to take this, the smaller one, and cut out the Flirty Flamingo, the 2.5 by 1.5. And so I'll cut those out and I'll be right back. So now we have our die cuts and we're ready to do some coloring. We're going to bring in our teapot and our flower for our inside. Now the light petal pink will be for the majority of the center of the teapot, and the light Flirty Flamingo will be for the parts of the handle, the top, the little spout, and some of the bottom. The dark Flirty Flamingo will be for the center of the flowers, and the light Mossy Meadow will be for the leaves. So we'll start by doing the inside of the pot with our light petal pink. So we've done the inside. Now I'm going to go over it again, and one of the tips I'll tell you when you're coloring with blends, avoid the lines as much as you possibly can. Go up to the line but not over the line. Okay, so we have our petal pink. Let me do the top here real quick a second time. Now we're ready to do our light petal or light Flirty Flamingo, and we'll do everything else except the leaves and the center of the flower. Okay, I'm going to give everything a second coat. Okay, that's our light Flirty Flamingo. Now we're going to do our dark Flirty Flamingo just in the center of our flower. And then our light Mossy Meadow leaves. And that is our little teapot. Now we'll do our inside flower, light Flirty Flamingo petals. And I'm only going to do one coat of this. Dark Flirty Flamingo center. And then light Mossy Meadow leaves. Okay, so we are finished with our coloring. Well, it's time to put our card together. So we'll bring in our other things. We'll get our card base, find our little groove, fold away. And then if you have any overhang, before you do your creasing, match up your edges on this end and then kind of hold it in place and kind of force that to conform to the, so that your edges are even on the ends here. Work with it till you get it where it's where you want it, and that looks good. So this is a landscape card. I have the inside 5 by 3 3/4. I believe that's the inside. So we'll just go ahead and put that on with some snail. That's ready to go in on the inside. Now we can do the front. It starts out with the DSP on top of our 4 7/8 by 3 5/8 petal pink. Now you can use glue or snail, whichever you prefer. And this is going to go on top of our Flirty Flamingo, 5 1/4 by 4. And then this is going to go on the front of our card. We're going to put our little teapot here on the right side of our card. Then our Happy Mother's Day will be here, and then our little bow will be up there. So I'm going to put this on with some glue. That gives me a little wiggle room. Let that dry. I'm going to put the teapot on as well with some glue. Place that about a 1/4 of an inch from the bottom of the flowers and right on the edge of the DSP over here, almost to the edge. Make sure it's level, and that looks good. Press it down. Now with this, we're going to pop up with some mini dimensionals. So I put my mini dimensionals on, and I'm going to have this hang over the bottom of the teapot just a little bit, and I want it level. Happy Mother's Day. There we go. Now all we have left to do are our bows and our pearls. For your bow, find your curve and then make a loop. And you don't want a very big loop because it is a small bow. So I have about 1 inch of a tail there. You can see the tails in the front. Okay, I'm going to bring this flat around my thumb, around the back, and then through where my thumb is, the loop that I just made, and pull it through. Be sure you keep it flat. Keep your ribbon flat. You're just going to pull it and adjust it till you get it where you want it. And you do want a small bow, so keep pulling it till it's small. And that's good right there. So now I'm just going to pull the tails down and trim them. My scissors. Just kind of straight across there and there. Now I have my bow. I'm going to put my bow on with some glue dot, just one glue dot, and if it hangs over, I'm just going to pinch it and put it about right there. And I'll get my pearls and my piercing tool. One pearl I'm going to put down here by the M in Mother. And the other 2 pearls I'm going to put up here, not exactly in the corner, a little bit away from the corner, side by side. And there we have it. We have our card. So this was card number 3 in my Tea Together club kit. Check out my website, www.carolbcrafts.com, to see what current club kit I'm offering. Thanks for watching. Bye now.